The former U.S. attorney who prosecuted General David Petraeus for mishandling classified government information is claiming that his case does not compare to Hillary Clinton's ongoing private server scandal. Now, Ann Tompkins, in an op-ed for USA Today, writing in part, quote, "The key element that distinguishes Secretary Clinton's email retention practices from Petraeus' sharing of classified information is that Petraeus knowingly engaged in an unlawful act, and that was the basis of his criminal liability." Now, while Tompkins appears to make a passionate argument, her opinion comparing the two cases should come with a very big warning. She donated to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Here with reaction, former New York City mayor, former prosecutor Rudy Giuliani, also a former U.S. attorney. Let's go to Mike Mukasey, former U.S. attorney general. Here's what he said.
There's a whole lot more classified information that was stored on that server without authorization, improperly, and that should not have been done. That's the kind of thing that, at a minimum, that's the kind of thing that General Petraeus was prosecuted for.
I think I'll trust him over the Clinton donor. Thoughts?
Well, he was my law partner, and his son is my law partner, and he's one of my best friends, and a great attorney general, by the way. The reality is the former assistant U.S. attorney who wrote that was highly irresponsible. There's no possible way she could know whether Hillary Clinton knowingly destroyed this information, because it hasn't been investigated. And second, there's an indication that it was knowing, which is the destruction of evidence. In a criminal trial, the destruction of evidence entitles you to a charge to a jury that is circumstantial evidence of guilty knowledge. So for her to say that has to have been a campaign-written document. Legally, it is a highly irresponsible statement. I don't know if she knowingly did it or not. I do know there's a piece of evidence, the destruction of evidence, that would give me an argument to the jury that there's circumstantial evidence that she knew. Plus, we haven't seen the emails yet. How do we know if there isn't an email that links the two things, a smoking gun?
Could happen.
Here's what I would argue to the jury. Why do you think she destroyed those emails, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Because she didn't want to see her talking about dress sizes with Chelsea, or because it would incriminate her?
The bigger lie was, she said her emails that she destroyed, 33,000, had to do with yoga, her mom's funeral, the wedding, and emails to Bill, who doesn't have an email account.
Okay, so that lie comes in evidence. It can be used against her. Second, there's another government statute that makes it a crime to mishandle government information. There, you don't need knowingly. You just need gross negligence.
And this server, you think, reaches that standard?
The minute you put a server in the hands of private people, within a bathroom or a garage, you don't think I can prove that was gross negligence?
That's gross negligence.
If I couldn't do that, I shouldn't be hired by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
How many statutes have you found that you think are applicable here?
I've found 12 that I would investigate her under. Until I investigated her, I couldn't come to a conclusion. And this woman couldn't possibly have come to the conclusion that it wasn't done knowingly, because there is a glaring piece of evidence that suggests circumstantial evidence of knowledge.
All right. The FBI A-team, the same people that went after Petraeus are the people that are involved in this. The FBI is suggesting that they may be able to retrieve from the server some of the deleted emails. Possibility of a smoking gun?
A possibility of a smoking gun with regard to what we're talking about, or a possibility of a smoking gun with regard to the Clinton Foundation.
Or Benghazi, too?
Or Benghazi. I mean, suppose there were communications regarding the vast amounts of money that Clinton was making from the countries and companies that she was helping as Secretary of State. Now we go from conflict of interest, which Judge Mukasey was talking about, we go from there to bribery.
Wow.
So there were substantial reasons for her to destroy those 34,000 emails that have to do with incriminating evidence. And all of that is permissible evidence in a criminal trial.
Doug Schoen, former Clinton pollster, says she is in a death spiral. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, because she has given no good explanation for the grossly negligent, highly irresponsible way in which she handled government information.
And when she tells Fox's Ed Henry, did you wipe the server clean? Do you mean with a cloth?
Well, who wipes their server clean?
Come on.
I mean,
nobody. But when she says that, doesn't that anger people? If you were a prosecutor, I'd be angry because we know what we're talking about.
This is the Secretary of State of the United States of America, who is getting some of the most sensitive information on the planet When I was Associate Attorney General, when I got a communication that had to be transmitted to the FISA court, it wasn't marked top secret.
But you knew it was.
I was deemed to know it was top secret.
Yeah.
I wouldn't open it up until I went into a sealed room, read it, and then put it in a sealed file. And then I marked it top secret.
Last question. I think a lot of people have underestimated Donald Trump and thought he would just go away. Is he going away?
No, he's going up. He's not going away. He's going up. And I thought that
you think he'd make a good president?
I think that movement part, that thing where he made the transition to this is a movement, was a very smart political move. Seems to me he's
maturing as a candidate.
Seems to me he's learning on the job, which means maybe he can learn on the job of president. We'll see. But I sure as heck, if I were one of his opponents, I would not count him out. He's a he's
a fighter.
This is a fighter. Yeah. This is a guy who has a natural instinct for how to answer questions and turn things around. These are all tactically enormously important.
It reminds me a little of you when you were mayor. I see a little of you in him. All right, Mr. Mayor, good to see you.
Good to see you.